And so like a lot of people think like, oh, you need a full 850 to have like the perfect credit score.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of factors. Like I don't think school needs to teach you how to get free flights or how to get like, 200 credit cards or 30 million. But I think they should at least teach you basic things. Like there's 6 factors of credit.
Absolutely.
One thing that a lot of people get confused on are like, oh, as long as I pay my credit card bill off at the end of every month, I'm good. And my score just keeps going up. Or as long as I don't check my credit report, it goes up. Which are both myths, because if you don't check you can check your credit report and your score doesn't get hurt. And if you pay off your bills every month, your score might actually go down. So what happens is there's one of the factors is called credit utilization. So say if you have $1,000 credit line and you spend $900 on it and you pay off the $900 on time and everything, your score could still go down because if your total credit line's $1,000, you're utilizing 90%.
Yeah.
And 90% utilization is actually worse for your score than if you miss the payment.
What? Your utilization should be under 20%, right, at all times. I keep mine at like 8%.
It should be at 0% ideally, and how you can keep it at 0% right now for like your viewers and everything, just pay it off as soon as you make a purchase. Like when I first started credit, I don't do it anymore because I have a massive credit line, so like the percentage doesn't matter anymore. But like if you have a $1,000 credit line or a $500 credit line, you go and buy a $20 like dinner. Pay it off like as soon as like the transaction goes through. Go on your phone and just like transfer $20 from a bank account and pay off.
So it never hits your statement.
Yes,
it doesn't close
because what's reported to the credit bureau is the statement close. So if your statement close balance is $900 out of 1,000, your 90% utilization, that's probably going to drop your score like 20 points.
The best thing that ever happened to me credit wise was I hate to give them a shout out, and I don't know if you use them or not, but Credit Karma.
Yeah,
that app I use religiously, and I have like an 825 credit score, and I had a horrible credit score for so long, but because of the stuff that certain apps taught me about utilization, payment timing, like all that stuff, it did great for my score.
Yeah, no, Credit Karma is awesome. Great. I think everyone should get it. Everybody like looks at their phone the first thing they wake up, like most people, and they go to a certain thing. If you're like a Twitch streamer, I don't know, you might go to Twitch. If you like check your stocks every morning. So like what I did consistently every single day for a year was just the first thing I checked was Credit Karma. Yeah. Like I would just open and just check my credit report, and that's how I just built it up every single. It was like the priority in my head. And then
I think they've just done like the best job of like appifying like the credit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It feels almost like a Facebook or like an Instagram. You open, it's really pretty and just like has,
and it makes it a lot less intimidating. Like it's green, and so like you're looking at it like, oh, it's like it's welcoming and trusting. And
you obviously you strike me as an intelligent kid, and you went to Stanford, yeah?
For 3 semesters.
So 1.5 years?
Yeah. Well, I went summer and 2 other semesters. Yeah.
What do you think it is about you that makes you attracted to credit and making this your line of work? Are you a numbers guy?
I'd say I'm attracted to credit because it's one of the things that the school system failed to teach us. And so, like, I spent a lot of time, when I was like 12 years old, I watched this like Simon Sinek talk called Starting With Why. And like
my favorite, it's my favorite TED talk of all time.
Yeah, so it was the first like motivational thing I saw, and I was like, okay, so I spent like a long time trying to figure out my why, but I didn't like make it my sole focus. I just kind of did what I enjoyed. So for credit, it was just like, oh, I get to travel for free and everything. And I slowly found that like, look, credit's one of the things we didn't teach people in school. And I started finding all these other things. Like I go to like the doctor's office, and I'll ask the doctor like, how much of what you do today did you learn in school? And they're like 2%.
Wow.
And like I'll ask the car mechanic, they're like, how much did you learn in school? Like 0. Like
that's a good question to ask people.
Yeah,
I think
I have yet to meet one person that said, oh, everything I do in my job I learned in school.
Yeah.
Or like confidently say like above 50%.
Such a small percent.
I guess it would be like the trade community, right? Like if you went to school to learn how to TIG weld something, like you probably learned it at your trade school, right?
Yeah.
By the way, we have a shortage of trade workers.
Definitely,
right?
I think a lot of that. Did you guys ever have like a vocational school that was attached to your school? It was like separate.
Yeah. Well, we had classes for it that you could go to, and I actually went to audio video. That was my choice. Which,
yeah, that panned out.
I mean, I learned how to edit on VCR, which has been great for me.
You serious?
Yeah, I had like a little button you could turn. It would speed it up, and it would go. I never use it. It's dysfunctional.
You never know. Never know when you're gonna have to bust it out.
One of the other things I saw was like, people like get pulled over every single day, right? And we are never taught how to communicate with cops in school ever. Like people are getting shot by like bad cops, and like bad people are getting shot by good cops, and the good cops, like, both sides have wrongs, right? And we're never taught, like, oh, this is the standard on how to conduct a traffic stop. Yet everybody has learned stop, drop, and roll when you catch on fire.
Catch on fire.
So you guys probably know someone that's gotten pulled over, right?
Yeah.
I literally, in the back of my head, I can't think of a single person that's caught on fire in the past week, in the past month, in the past year. So I think it's crazy.
It's a fantastic point.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic point. Dude.
School just does a horrible job of, like, what you talk about with the why. School does a horrible job of linking the why. Like, I've been watching YouTube videos about sacred geometry and things that I hated during school, but I'm now linking it to, like, things I'm actually passionate about learning. Like, if you link mathematics, reading, writing, science, like, all this stuff is important to be a well-rounded individual. But if you're going to these classes to take a test, that's not going to be how you actually retain that knowledge.
Right.
You know, it's transactional.
And we teach kids, like, to hate school. Like, we don't directly teach them to hate school, but like, kids dread going to school. And as a result, it like transfers to their adult life, because then it's like, oh, I hate learning. When I think we should be encouraging and making learning. Like, I don't care if you want to learn how to play Fortnite better, if you want to learn how to play the piano, if you want to learn how to play guitar. Learning is learning, and I think we should encourage it. And like, if I were a teacher, like, if I was it was the first day of school, I would literally create 100 like questions from 100 different subjects, and I would just give it to them as a pop quiz, and I'd say, like, look, you can use your phone, you can use your friend, you can call your dad, whatever. Because we live in a world where we have resources, and we're not teaching our kids to access their resources.
True.
Instead, we're making them memorize the atomic number for hydrogen, instead of like teaching them like real
Number one, baby.
right? Like,
Number one. And you know how much I'm going to do with that this week?
Absolutely.
Nothing.
right?
Nothing.
Like, we learn all this stuff, but like, I took like a paramedics course too, like, because I ski, I was a ski patroller. So the stuff I learned from there, I think, is pretty useful, that anyone should know. Like, what if your buddy slips and falls, and like, you know, very obviously his leg's broken? Do you lift him up to the couch so he can like sit down on the couch? Do you leave him there? Do you call the like ambulance right away?
Yep.
Like, simple stuff like that. That's actual life skills. How to file taxes, like, you know, how to get health insurance. I made my first $1 million before I got health insurance.
Wow.
So I think that's pretty like messed up.